त्वमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna. So we'll see what Prabhupada has to share from this Durumara section. Maitreya says, the four Kumaras, sages, headed by Sanaka as well as Narada, Rubhu, Hamsa, Aruni, and Yati, all sons of Brahma, did not live at home, but became Urdhvaretas or Naishtike Brahmacharis, unadulterated celibates. Now, the system of Brahmacharya has been current since the birth of Brahma. A section of population, especially male, did not marry at all. Instead of allowing their semen to be driven downwards, they used to lift the semen up to the brain. They are called Urdhvaretas. What happens is when the semen is controlled, the mind can be controlled. That is the main reason why this is given. Is if somebody want to concentrate the mind, then they have to control the semen. That's why semen is so important that if by the yogic process one can lift the semen up to the brain, he can perform wonderful work. One's memory is enabled to act very swiftly and the duration of life is increased. Yogis can thus perform all kinds of austerities with steadiness and be elevated to the highest perfectional stage, even to the spiritual world. So these are the examples. So even for us also, we have to, if we can control this one desire of uh, relation between male and female, or nowadays so many other complication relationship. But this one thing, this one urge is controlled, then it becomes easy to control the mind for anyone. That's the reason children, they can learn very fast compared to elders. Because for children, this desire is not there. So they are humble, they are focused. And that is the time we learn maximum. And once the teenage comes, then things will be difficult. This is one of the reasons. That's why Kumaras, they don't want to become, they don't want to increase their age because they don't want to take the distraction. And it happens for everyone at that age. Another significant phrase here is Naite Graha hi Avasan. They did not live at home. Graha means home as well as wife. In fact, home means wife. Home does not mean a room or a house. One who lives with a wife lives at home. Otherwise, a sannyasi or a brahmachari, even though he may live in a room or in a house, does not live at home. That did not live at home means they did not accept a wife, and so there was no question of their discharging semen. Semen is meant to discharge when one has a home, a wife, and the intention to beget children. Otherwise, there is no injection for discharging semen. These principles were followed from the beginning of creation, and such brahmacharis never create progeny. Gorkon Maharaj says that he released semen 10 times in life and he has 10 children. These principles were followed from the beginning of creation, and such brahmacharis never create progeny. This narration was dealt with the descendants of Lord Brahma from Manu's daughter Prasuti. Prasuti's daughters were Dakshayani or Sati, in relation to whom the story of Daksha Yajna was narrated. Maitreya is now explaining about the progeny of sons of Brahma. Out of many sons of Brahma, the brahmachari sons headed by Sanaka and Narada did not marry at all. And therefore, there is no question of narrating the story of their descendants. You want to give the genealogy, but there are no children only for them. So then he goes to Swayambhu Manu. Another son of Lord Brahma was irreligion, whose wife's name was falsity. From their combination was born two demons named Damba or bluffing and Maya or cheating. These two demons were taken by a demon named Nirati, who had no children. Now, Prabhupada is writing this. So there are Brisha, Bha, and Asitha, Damba, and Maya. So it is understood herein that Adharma, irreligion, was also a son of Brahma. and he married his sister Mrisha. This is the beginning of sex life between brother and sister. Of course, if you see Swayambhu, Manu and Shatrupa are also Brahma's children only. So in that way, they are also brother and sister. But there is there must be some difference. This unnatural combination of sex life can be possible in human society only where there is adharma or irreligion. It is understood that in the beginning of creation, Brahma created not only saintly sons like Sanaka, Sanatana, and Narada, but also demonic offsprings for Nirati, Adharma, Damba, and falsity. Everything was created by Brahma in the beginning because there is a requirement for all these things. People want to enjoy in a false way. That living entity's desire is there, so Brahma has to create. There is no option for it. Like when the government is making the city planning, it will definitely create planning for the place where a prison house is there. And then there are also license for brothels and casinos and other things also they have to give permission for them. They say, Arey, why government is allowing alcohol, liquor shops, this, that? Because people anyway do it. If you don't give them, then they will do it in a very, then the mafia will increase. That's the reason they have to do it. Like it happened in here in Andhra. At that time it was a single states. Then they banned alcohol, and for 2 years I think they banned. But they saw that so many rowdy shooters were increasing because they're illegally doing. So it is more dangerous for the government to increase such antisocial elements. So government has to again bring back the liquor, and that's a great source of income for the state now. The point is what government has to create because the desire is there. Similarly, Brahma is creating because the living entity have a desire to enjoy in that particular way. That's why Nirati, Adharma, Damba, falsity. This is just weird. Brahma is just an instrument. Everything was created by Brahma in the beginning. Regarding Narada, it is understood that because his previous life was very pious and his association very good, he was born as Narada. Others were also born in their own capacity according to their backgrounds. The law of karma continues birth after birth, and when there is a new creation, the same karma comes back with the living entities. You see? So they are same personalities. Brahma is an instrument to bring back all the people as it is with their karma. They are born in different capacities according to karma, even though their father is originally Brahma, who is the exalted qualitative incarnation of the Supreme Personality of God. So people say, Arey, Brahma's son, how he is behaving like that? Even though he's Brahma's son, he will be Adharma only. Because Brahma is an instrument to bring that living entity to this material world. He may respect his father. Some of the living entities even don't respect their father also. They try to attack Brahma also. We have seen that. Uh, no, so the point here is that even though that's the point here, we see that there are great personalities who are appearing, but here there is principle is that it does not matter how you are taking birth. If you have that type of karma, you continue like that only. And Brahma is just bringing in there. Maitreya told Vidra, oh great soul, from Damba and Maya were born greed and Nikriti or cunning. From their combination came children named Krodha, Himsa, and from their combination was born Kali and his sister Drukti, harsh speech. So it's a very nice family lineage. So how it started is, you see, it started from irreligion. So we'll write it down. So irreligion, whose wife is falsity. So when there is irreligion, there is falsity. Yeah. And we can see, we can try to see how it is applicable. Irreligion plus falsity. So these both are combined, and the result is what? Result is born bluffing and cheating. So this is the combination. So because of irreligion, people start bluffing, people start cheating. And we can see this also in the society. And now people were previously very religious. They were following all the rules and regulations properly. And when people stopped becoming religious, especially when the Brahmanas got degraded, then people, they, like, we can see the Brahmanas only. They are supposed to follow all the rules and regulations. But once they became irreligious, now in the name of dharma, they start bluffing. They started telling, no, no, we are only right. So this cheating mentality started from Brahmanas only, because they have to tell people what we are doing is right and we are the highest people. And we have so many Swamijis and who are there. People go to them and they get nicely cheated. And these Swamijis, what they do? They do bluffing only. They don't know the truth, but they are telling, they are taking something wrong. So what happened from this? These two demons were taken by named Nidat. And then from Damba and Maya, so these are the two children, cheating and bluffing, what comes? Greed comes. Of course, they're doing it, they want to increase. So this, we can take a typical example of a bogus sadhu. So he became an irreligious person in the name of religion. He's bluffing. Then he becomes greedy. And then what he does, we'll see. There is greed and cunning. Greed and nirati are cunningness. So he's cheating, and this too leads to cunning. Oh, we can remember this also. This person is greedy. So cheating and cunningness, both are like that only. Same almost. And from their combination, there is anger and envy. And when a person is greedy and cunning, he becomes angry and envious. So this is the next stage that appears. A person is irreligious, he is bluffing, he becomes greedy and cunning, and then he becomes angry and envious. Initially, he may not be, but what happens is, because when person is greedy, then he want more and more and more, and there will be so many obstacles when he want to achieve more. I want to achieve in a cunning way. Because of greedy, I am cunning also. Because to get, like, say, this person, we will take a typical example of a so-called saintly person. He became irreligious, but he is bluffing that he is religious. And now he want to acquire more property, more followers or whatever in cunning ways. And any obstacle comes, he becomes angry and he is envious of people who are speaking truth also. And and then what is the next thing that is happening? From their combination came the child named uh, Goda Nimsa, and from their combination born Kali and Durukti. And this is the typical state of Kali, harsh speech. This is what is Kali Yuga. It is filled with people who are speaking harshly because they are envious, and all any we may not know personally how they are speaking, but definitely this is going to happen. And Kali Yuga is actually harsh speech. If you see any social media, any news channels, there is always blasphemy of some people, either politician or a celebrity or somebody, something or other you have negativity. And especially social media, they make so heavy comments. They don't see how much it is breaking the bones of other person, because you don't know, you don't see. Like, say, if I am talking to a person, I speak little harshly. If I feel that he is getting affected, I may feel responsible for the pain he is undergoing, and I may become little mild, or I may become little about no, apologetical, and then I may reduce it. But on the internet, na, we don't know on the social media how the person is getting affected. So you can be very, very harsh without taking any responsibility for it. So this is one of the dangers of internet, and that is harsh speech. This is a symptom of Kali Yuga. You can you can make comment on a president of a country also sitting at your home. And It is such a wrong thing. If we should not get into that. So this is actually symptom of Kali Yuga. We should be very careful not to get into it. And if you have something positive, you can make, but negative, we should never do it. Even if you don't like, also just keep quiet. We should not protest. It is actually we should be away from all the social media, no Facebook and other things. That is more dangerous. Even if somebody is there for some business purpose, something, but he should not make any social such comments. It's not actually good. People keep in their status also such violent videos. Violent in the sense there is very harsh speech, and then they put in the status and they're circulating it, they're forwarding it. No, it is not actually good. We are going to get very bad karma. Our mind is going to. This is actually Kali symptom. We are spreading irreligion. We may say, oh, Prabhuji, we want to protect Sanatan Dharma. We are not protecting Sanatana Dharma. We are actually assisting Kali. I will put all these people what they are doing to Sanatan Dharma. No, don't become an agent. The Kali tricks all these things. We are not supposed to do these things. There are other people who will do. For devotees, not there. So now you saw the sequence: irreligion, falsity, bluffing, cheating, greedy, angry, and Kali. So very easily to remember, you take a typical example of a so-called saintly person. So example of a so-called saintly person. So it is easy to remember the steps. First he becomes irreligious, falsity, then there is bluffing and cheating, then there is greeding and cunningness, then is anger, envy, and harsh speech, right? So now we'll come to the next stage. He says, my dear Vidra, I have summarily explained the cause of devastation. One who hears this description three times attains piety and wishes this sinful combinations contamination from the soul. So washes the sinful contamination. Very important point. See how by hearing we can feel free. In Ishopanishad it is told Vidyam cha vidyamsta estad vedo bhayam saha. Ishopanishad very clearly tells. I think this is Swayambhu Manu, I think he has written the sage for this Ishopanishad. So here, the point here is that when we know how we are entangled, we can come out of the entanglement also. That is the point. Avidyamcha. Still, you should know what is knowledge and what is ignorance also. What does it means by ignorance? That we have to study all the books written in by the scientists and all these materialistic books. Does not mean like that. Means that we should know the way we are getting entangled. That is called avidya, the way we are getting entangled in this material world. Even all the books in the libraries of this world, all are avidya only, but it is not talking about that avidya. Here, avidya here means that the way we are getting entangled. So here, this why by knowing how we are getting entangled, we will be free because we become conscious. Oh, this is how I am caught. Brahma is telling there are five types of ignorance. All these things will help us to come out of it slowly. That's why it is told. So here Prabhupada is going to tell the creation takes place on the basis of goodness, but devastation takes place because of irreligion. Wow, such a nice point Prabhupada is telling. So creation is for goodness, but devastation is irreligion. That is the way of material creation and devastation. Here it is stated that the cause of devastation is adharma or irreligion. The descendants of irreligion and falsity born one after another are bluffing, cheating, greedy, cunning, angry, envy, quarrel, harsh speech. Death, fear, severe pain, and oh, I forgot one more verse. Yeah, O greatest of all good men, by the combination of Kali and harsh speech was born children named Mrityu, death, and Bhiti, fear. And combination of Mrityu and Bhiti came children named Yati and Niraya. So we have two more people, Mrityu and fear. Death and fear also. Two more special children who are coming here. there is death and fear. This Kali Yuga is so prominent, death and fear, and then there is uh, combination excessive pain and hell. Like when Prabhupada went to London and reporter asked, Swamiji, do you believe in hell? Prabhupada said, London is hell. Now, what does Prabhupada is telling? It is not a geographical location, hell. It is a state of mind that is hell, right? So here, when you are having this Kali here actually is also called quarrel. So this is Kali indicates quarrel. There is quarrel and hypocrisy because there is anger and envy. And all the Hollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood, all the movie industry very, very typically shows this anger, envy, quarrel, harsh speech. Greedy and cunningness also, bluffing and cheating also. Everything is there. And death and fear is there, excessive pain and hell is there. So this is a very typical Hollywood, Bollywood movies. Everything we can see from irreligion to death and fear and excessive pain, all the symptoms we can see in all the so-called movies, especially in India. Of course, in Hollywood also, Bollywood people they learn from Hollywood only many of the things. So you can see there is death, there is fear, there is excessive pain, there is harsh speech, quarrel, angry, envy, whatnot. Everything, whatever is there from irreligion to hell, everything is there. Very uh, Bhagavatam does not. Bhagavatam is covering everything. So this is how people are entangled. This is called avidya. And Prabhupada is telling that the descendants of irreligion and falsity, born one after another, are bluffing, cheating, greed, cunning, anger, envy, quarrel, harsh speech, death, fear, severe pain, and hell. All these descendants are described as the signs of devastation. If a person is pious and hears about this cause of devastation, he will feel hatred for all this, and that will cause his advancement in a life of piety. Piety refers to the process of cleansing the heart. So when we hear, we should feel disgusted. So people who have any habit of watching movies, they should feel disgusted. That, oh, what am I watching here? I am watching all these things, irreligion, quarrel, harsh speech, death. And all these descendants are described as a sign of devastation only. And just by if a person is pious and hears about, he will feel hatred for all these things. That means a person will feel hatred for Hollywood movies and or Bollywood, whatever movies, and that will cause his advancement in a life of piety. Piety refers to the process of cleansing the heart. You see, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, one has to cleanse the dust from the mirror of mind, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, and then advancement on the path of liberation begins. Here also the same process is recommended. Malam means contamination. One should learn to despise all the causes of devastation, beginning from irreligion and cheating, and then we shall be able to make advancement in life of piety. So if somebody has a habit of watching movies, if you want to guide them, you can tell, see, these are the cause of devastation, and you are seeing them in and out. In the movie, it's all the cause of devastations only. Why we should despise them? We should not feel pleasure in watching devastation. We should feel disgusted. Oh, what is this? What am I watching? That is what is important. Here, also the same process. We should learn to despise all the cause of devastation, beginning from irreligion and cheating, and then we shall be able to make advancement in life of piety. The possibility of attaining Krishna consciousness will be easier, and we shall not be subjected to repeated devastation. The present life is repeated birth and death. But if we seek the path of liberation, we may be saved from repeated suffering. I was planning to take some sessions on why movies are so dangerous. I got a new angle. from that perspective. This is a nice point to meditate upon. Maitreya continued, O best of the Kuru dynasty, I shall now describe before you the descendant of Swayambhu Manu, who was born as a part of a plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma is a powerful expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Brahma is Jiva Tattva, he is empowered by the Lord and therefore he is considered a plenary expansion of the Supreme Godhead. Sometimes it happens that when there is no suitable living being to be empowered to act as Brahma, the Supreme Lord Himself appears as Brahma. Brahma is the plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Swayambhu Manu was the direct son of Brahma. The great sage Maitreya is now going to explain about the descendant of this Manu, all of whom are widely celebrated for their pious activities. Before speaking of those pious descendants, Maitreya had already described the descendant of impious activities representing anger, envy, unpalatable speech, quarrel, fear, and death. Purposely, therefore, he in is next relating the history of life of Dhruva Maharaj, the most pious kings within the universe. And he says Swayambhu Manu had two sons by his wife Shatarupa, and the name of the son were Uttanapada and Priyavata. Because both of them were descendant of a plenary expansions of Vasudeva, Supreme Personality of God, they were very competent to rule the universe, to maintain and protect the citizens. See, they have so much power, they are so much empowered, but still they also have some conditionings, and we'll see what are them. It is said that the two kings, Uttanapada and Privat, specifically empowered by the Supreme Personality of God. Unlike the great king Rishabha, who was the Supreme Personality himself. And then next is King Uttanapada had two kings, Suniti and Surichi. Surichi was much more dear to the king. Suniti had the son named Dhruva, was not his favorite. So now, see, at that level, he is grandson of Brahma, is son of Swayambhu Manu, very cultured, very properly trained, empowered by the Supreme Lord to take care of the universe. That time, their whole universe they are doing, taking care. Still, we see that he is having this conditioning. He is having raga and dvesha. How this raga dvesha comes? First is avidya, abhinivesh, raga, dvesha, and asmita. So these five types of ignorance are created, and they are applicable to all. So here there is raga and dvesha for Uttanapada. He is such an exalted personality. That means it is very difficult to overcome this conditioning even at that level. They are direct grandsons, where and how much power and how much potency and whatnot they have. But see, very difficult. That means if how great are the Goswamis we can imagine compared to Swayambhu Manu and all. Even they such exalted people could not do, but we have our Goswamis, our Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, they don't have any raga and dvesha. We should admire, that's how we should admire our acharyas and goswamis. See how so selfless, how free from envy they are. It's such a special thing. The great sage Maitreya wanted to describe the pious activities of the king. Priyavrata was the first son of Swayambhuman and Uttanapada the second, but the great sage Maitreya immediately began to speak of Dhruva Maharaj, the son of Uttanapada, because Maitreya was very eager to describe pious activities. The incidents in the life of Dhruva Maharaj are very attractive for devotees. From his pious actions, one can learn how one can detach himself from material positions and how one can enhance one's devotional service by severe austerities and penances. By hearing the activities of pious Dhruva, one can enhance one's faith in God and can directly connect with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus one can very soon be elevated to the transcendental platform of devotional service. The example of Dhruva Maharaj's austerities can immediately generate a feeling of devotional service in the hearts of the hearers. And so here Maitreya immediately got attracted. Means what happens is says I am speaking some story and immediately I remember, oh, this is such a nice pastime. If I like, we are in Vrindavan Dham and we are having some pastime. If you like something, we immediately want to switch to that as early as possible. So Maitreya is also very eager to speak about Dhruva. So there is small exercise for all of you. What are the different, uh, there is process of uh, degradation, devastation actually. So you remember from irreligion to hell. So all the steps you can write in the chat box and send, because so that you will have, you'll remember. It's actually easy to remember if you take an example of a false saint, so-called saintly person. You can know from a religion it starts and then what he will do, then what he will do. So you can remember them, it helps. Now the storyline starts. So I'll again show you the chart and you try to memorize it. It's good to memorize. Irreligion, falsity, bluffing and cheating. So when you are irreligious, we want to bluff. Bluffing and cheating for what? Because greedy and cunningness comes. And from then it stops, there is envy and anger. And from them comes quarrel and harsh speech. And then comes death and fear, excessive pain and hell. So please try to memorize. Nice things to memorize. And so it's a very, we cannot say, see, such a, now if you take the position of Suniti, she is the granddaughter of, grand daughter-in-law of Brahma and daughter-in-law of Swayambhu Manu. And they have family problems. And to such an extent, if you say the Shiva's family problems were too great that Sati committed, wife committed suicide. And now we take another set. Here, the family problems were so severe that the son left the home at the age of 5. At least compared to their family problems, we may not have that much problem that the son is leaving home, wife is committing suicide. Yeah, so it is there from the beginning of creation. As soon as the stories of the children of Brahma started, it started with family problems only. First story is about Daksha. Of course, it started with Kardamuni. It went very nice. Devahuti and Kardamuni. When it came to another daughter of Swayambhu Manu, immediately the problems started, family problems. And then same with the sons of Brahma also there are family problems. Sorry, Swayambhu Manu. So Swayambhu Manu's daughter had family problems, son also have family problems, and very severe problem. It's a symptom of the material world that there will be problems, and not only at a small level, from a very big level, and the great personalities. And envy is there, you see, there is partiality, there is envy, there is jealousy, there is hate, everything we can see this manifesting. So once upon a time, King Uttanapada was putting the son of Suruchi, Uttama, placing him on his lap. Dhruva Maharaj was also trying to get on king's lap, but the king did not very much welcome him. So he is also affected by this type of lower conditionings. While the child Dhruva Maharaj was trying to get on the lap of his father, Suruchi, his stepmother, became very envious of the child, and with great pride she began to speak so as to be heard by the king himself. See, what happens is this is a very important thing because of attachment. Man should be affectionate and he should be responsible, but it is not good for man to be attached. It is very dangerous for him also and for the woman also. Because initially, woman may like a man is attached to him, but later on she will feel the burden of that attachment. She knows that initially she may feel very nice. Oh, my husband is so attached to me and all. In long run, it is not good actually. even for the wife and husband, both. It is damaging. If a person is not attached, but he is responsible, he is affectionate, it will help him, it will help the wife also. For wife to be attached to husband is good. If she is detached, then it may not be initially good. Later on, she can be detached, but for wife, attachment is good only. It will help her to get more absorption, and it will make her very peaceful also. That's why the psychophysical nature is created like that. Women are generally attached, and man need to be detached. So they make progress like that fast. Devotee is attached to Kardamani, and that will help her to progress in spiritual life. She is thinking of that great exalted personality, and she is faithfully serving him because she is attached to him. She is not doing any separately devotional austerities and all. Her only austerity is to serve Kardamani. And Kardamani detached, and he is doing austerities. He is not attached to wife. He is focused on spirituality. And Devati attached to her husband, she is just serving him. So now what happened? All the credits what Kardamini is making by doing all these austerities and all, 50% are going to Devati. So that's how the system is. So the psychophysical nature is created like that. Of course, now what happened is because everything got damaged, so there is no such things available now. There are no women like that. There are no men like that. It's not possible. It's all mixture. But here also the and now, but there are still this applies also that man should be detached only. For him, attachment is very dangerous. He should be affectionate. He should take responsibility of the family, but attachment is not good for him. It is so painful. He will not make any progress. What happens is after say sometimes at the age of 60 or 70, if wife dies, he will not be able to focus so much on spirituality also that time because he was so attached to her. If he is little attached, so from the beginning only he works on spirituality, and then when the wife dies also he can more focus on the spirituality. So that's how the system is. And if he is attached, you see how he is becoming a toy in the hands of his play toy in the hands of his wife. And even big emperors, they get controlled by their wives like this. See, at home, wife should be controller. That is, and at outside in the society, men should be controller. So that is a very good combination. And most of the time, it is like that only. So men should lead outside, women should lead inside, and it is very good for the society and for the family both. But woman comes outside to lead, and man is trying to control in the house. Both are many times problem. Of course, there will be exceptions. Uh, Generally, the kings are men. Sometimes there are women also, but most of the time it is men. That is good. And at home, women should be given control. That is good. I This is not my opinion. I'm telling the opinion of Shastra, so don't get offended. Just repeating. I'm not misogynist or feminist or something. I'm just giving the things which is there and which was actually the Vedic system. I'm telling. Yeah, I'm just repeating what is Vedic system, how it worked that way. And it was there till sorry, actually till Industrial Revolution, till the age of Dark Ages also, the type of Dark Ages. Everywhere in the world, it was like this only. Only after Industrial Revolution started, everything became topsy-turvy, the Iron Age. From there, the devastation, all these things came. But otherwise, even Europe or whatever places you can see in the world, it was going peacefully only. Anyway, so here, the king, of course, was equally affectionate towards both his sons, Uttama and Dhruva. But he had a natural inclination to take uh, Dhruva as well as Uttama and Lila, but because of his favoritism towards his queen Suruchi, he could not welcome Dhruva Maharaj. Despite his feeling, King Uttanapada's feeling were understood by Suruchi, and therefore, with great pride, she began to speak about the king's affection for her. This is the nature of women. If a woman understands that her husband regards her as a favorite and is especially affectionate to her, she takes undue advantage. These symptoms are visible even in such an elevated society as a family of Swayambhu Manu. Therefore, it is concluded that the female nature of woman is present everywhere. Feminine nature of woman. Actually, what happens if a man is detached? No? It then it will help women also to come out of lower natures, because the lower nature always haunts them. But a man is very strong. He is detached. He is not just entertaining her with his lower natures. Slowly, slowly, she can come out of it. Otherwise, the he should allow her to do what she want, but he should not allow her to, especially in the lower direction side. So this is not actually good. Like say she wanted to enjoy certain things, food, clothes, and all. He should provide them everything. But when it comes to jealousy, envy, anger, these all things they will manifest. Then he should help her to control them. And that time he should be very strict. And that detachment helps. She will slowly understand and try to come out of it. She knows that this person is not going to listen to me in some situation. So anyway, we will not go much detail, but Prabhupada is trying to explain nice man. Yeah, we will. Actually, I am going for Vrindavan. We have retreat and other Yatra, Bhakti Gyan Maharaj retreat. So I will not be available for few days. Maybe for 10 days. So we'll not have Prabhupada purport sessions. Maybe till 6th, 7th of April. So I apologize, but thank you very much. We will meet maybe in between. If I get any opportunity, I will take. And after that, we'll have. Okay, we have some questions. Yes, Bir Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandapanam.
Dhanavad.
Prabhu, this chain of irreligion, falsity, bluffing, cheating, this is predominant in all the yuga or primarily in Kali Yuga?
Of course, Kali Yuga only, Prabhu, because Kali is there in that last part. So it is predominant in this age. Previously, people were religious. Irreligion is more prominent in Kali Yuga because it starts from irreligion. That is more in Kali Yuga.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Sita Kanpur.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandapanam. Prabhuji, like in other yogas, practicing celibacy, brahmacharya is very, very important. How important is it in Bhakti Yoga, Prabhuji?
Equally important, Prabhu, because you want to concentrate mind on Krishna.
Okay.
To concentrate mind on Krishna, to concentrate mind, anything you want to do with the help of mind, you want to concentrate, you want to sit and read for a long time, sit and hear, understand, analyze, and you want to put your feelings when you are doing service or when you want to chant more attentively, anything mind is needed. And for mind to be focused, we have to practice this.
Recently, we had a discussion, Prabhuji, with other devotees, and I brought the same points like, 1 drop of semen is equal to 60 drops of blood. It's very important. Then I told these are all material calculations. From a spiritual point of view, these like, some arguments came down.
No, that is science, bro. It is not spiritual or material. It is science.
Okay.
This calculations and all. It's a science given by the sages. So they are doing it because they know that this is going to work and this is not going to work. So it is applicable because I am a devotee. If I jump from the building and from 10th floor, will gravity affect me or not?
Correct. It will happen.
So same thing. So it's a science. We cannot
Okay.
minimize it. It's a science. It is going to work.
That's equally important in our Bhakti Yoga now, Prabhuji. Bhakti Yoga also is equally
Because
important.
it is, brahmacharya, asteya, and all these things, satya is all important because they are favorable to bhakti.
Okay, Prabhuji. And Shil Prabhupada also some lectures it came that the advancement in spiritual life can be checked. How he is freed from the sex desire? How much? So that is a main parameter Prabhuji or any other parameters? Somebody is advancing in devotional service.
That happens naturally. That is one of the parameters that he is getting free from that desire. So
Okay.
that's one of the parameters.
What
Not
are the other parameters?
Yeah, he should get taste for hearing in the association, service to Vaishnavas. Other things are also there. No?
Sometimes we see sannyasis also suddenly they get married and all, Prabhuji. So how do you understand about that one?
They make their advancement, but they have that conditioning which they are not able to overcome. It is not that they didn't make any advancement. They made advancement, but there is one conditioning which is holding them. So once they get cleared from that conditioning, they'll continue from wherever they made advancement. Because they did, if say Prabhupada disciples, some of them they took sannyas and got married. Now they made so much advancement by serving such a great Acharya Prabhupada. Now, will that advancement go away? No, it will be there. They have made so much advancement. They were very consciously serving Prabhupada, like Brahmanand Prabhu. How much they did for Africa. They took risk of their life. They preached in Africa. They preached in Pakistan. And Prabhupada had tears in his eyes when Brahmanand Prabhu comes back to from Pakistan because the news comes that they were killed. 2 Americans were killed. Now, how much they did, how much they took risk and did. So, did they make advancement? Yes. But they had some conditioning. So, he married, but Prabhupada saves them. Prabhupada is. So, the point is they have some conditionings, but that is not going to, they will, their advancement is anyway there.
Okay, Prabhuji. So nothing. I mean, like whatever advancement they made, I mean that is there. That will be there.
Yeah, that will be.
Okay, even they marry also. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not.
For time being, they are in break. Again, once they come out of that, again they can continue.
Oh, acha, acha, acha. Okay, okay. Thank you.
Hare Umakant bro.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna bro.
There might be a resound, so I'll finish my question, and then what I'll do is I'll go on mute. Okay, Prabhuji?
Sure.
So, yeah, Prabhuji, just go down. I have one question over there. In the first one, in the sons of Brahma is there, no? I just want to check the sons of Brahma, and there I'll talk about my question. Like deceit, everything is there, no, Prabhuji? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think there you have written something, no, already. Yes, see, you have written, you have written this one. Okay. So, okay, irreligion, falsity, bluffing, cheating. Okay. So my question starts here, Prabhuji. So you have heard about the philosophy of Charuvakas, no, Prabhuji?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
So Charvaka philosophy is like that, Charvakas are the people who believe that is only one philosophy, that life is only one. Okay. So this life, which is only one, has to be utilized for eating, okay, eating, drinking, then dancing and making fun. Okay. So these are the philosophy of Charvaka.
Yeah.
So when eating, then drinking and dancing and making merry is the primary philosophy of the Charuvakas. So when it comes to the path of devotion, so devotional life gives a different meaning to the philosophy of Charuvakas. They say that we do not immediately reject any philosophy. Okay, yes, eating is there, drinking is there. Okay, and dancing is there, and making merry is there. Okay, but eating prasada is something, which we turn it to in the path of devotion. Eating prasadam, okay. And then second is that dancing is also there. Drinking is there, yes. Drinking the charanamritam of the Lord, and dancing on the holy names of the God, and making merry with the co-devotees and Vaishnavas. So this is our philosophy. So what we are doing is that we are turning the Charvaka philosophy into the most favorable thing so that it can be utilized in the progress of our bhakti. You're getting my point, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Charvaka philosophy, you're immediately not rejecting it. They are saying that because this is the common need of eating is very common, because without eating you cannot survive. So,
Yeah.
but realizing the true meaning of how eating can be done in which can be favorable to the path of devotion, we are turning it to eating a prasadam and taking charnamrita and dancing with devotees by singing the holy names of God, and we are making merry along with other Vaishnavas. So we are spiritualizing by giving it a meaning to the thing which is already existing by the Charvakas. We are immediately not rejecting. So similarly, when you look at the Brahma's sons like irreligion, falsity, bluffing, cheating, greedy, cunning, anger, envy, all are coming from the Supreme Lord itself. When you say that it is coming from Lord Brahma, then I'll say that it would be definitely coming from Supreme Lord, because Brahma itself himself is a creation of uh, he is coming from the Lord's Nabhi only. So when irreligion, falsity, bluffing, cheating, greed, cunning, anger, all these are there in the path, so it must be somewhere utilized as a stepping stone to reach the Supreme Lord. Cannot be used. It can also be used like that. We turned the Charvaka philosophy into our favorable way of doing progress in spiritual life. So similarly, something might be there, a thin line of connection between irreligion and religion, falsity and this one. So that thin line we need to draw, because we are not empowering these negative qualities. We are empowering these qualities so that we can use these qualities also in the path of spiritual progress. You're getting my point, Prabhu?
Yeah, but it is not like that, bro. I'll
Very difficult?
No, no,
Okay.
I'll mute and I'll explain.
Yeah, go on with Prabhu.
So here, bro, this cannot be used like that. This irreligion, bluffing, greeding, we cannot convert them into devotional. Means we cannot, like Charvaka's philosophy, we are converting. Actually, we are not converting Charvaka's philosophy. Charvaka's, this is ours is also eternal, Charvaka is also eternal. So both are using the same situations, but one is using it properly, one is using it falsely. It is not we are converting Charvaka's philosophy. No, our process is also eternal from the beginning. His process is also eternal. We used it properly, he misused it. That's all. Because all living entity has these needs, and that is what it is meant for, to utilize in Krishna's service. But Charvaka, instead of using Krishna's service, he is changing it. So that's all. It is not that we have taken Charvakas and changing it. It's not right like that. And here, all these things, they are actually, we can say, okay, everything is coming from Supreme Lord because it's energy of Supreme Lord. It's not directly from the Supreme Lord in that way. So these are all energies of the Lord only, but he's not affected by it. That's another thing. That's why Madhvacharya is against Ramanujacharya is in this philosophy, in this aspect. When Ramanujacharya says everything is part of the Lord, Madhvacharya says you are an offender of the Lord because you are telling how can this irreligion and all this be part of the Lord? Then Madhvacharya says Dvaita, no connection. We say connection is there in terms of energy of the Lord. So these are all energy of the Lord. There is negativity, but it cannot be used in Lord's service because Lord is something spiritual. So we cannot have some material negativity which can be used for Lord. So adharma stands behind, it's the back of the Lord. Mayam cha dapashrayam. So she is behind the Lord. She cannot come in front of Lord. Say like darkness. Can sun anytime see darkness? Sun can never see darkness. Why? Because wherever sun is there, it is bright. Similarly, these are the negative qualities. They can be behind the Lord. They cannot be in front of Lord. As soon as they come in front of Lord, they no more exist. Like there is no darkness in front of sun, like that. So these negative qualities are in the heart of living entities, which is the energy of Lord only. But when we want to go to spiritual world, we have to be free from all these things. They cannot be doubted. They cannot be utilized in Lord's service. You are understanding, bro? Oh, you can. I will unmute you, bro. Omakant, bro.
Please unmute me, Prabhu. I'll just come to the point. Prabhu, I come to the point when you say that, it is not can be used. So what I'll do is that greediness, give you an example. Greediness is something I can use for eating prasadam. Wherever, prasadam is served, I become greedy and I run there and I eat prasadam. Cunningness, I can call it as cleverness, and I can say that I can become more clever by not becoming materialistic, and I'll becoming more a person who can be utilizing the material and spiritualizing it. So you call me as a clever person because I'm utilizing the material for the spiritual purpose. Anger I'll be having for somebody who do blasphemy against Lord Krishna and the principles and against Vaishnavas. Okay, so anger I can use. Envy I'll use against people, against the, I'll use it, envy against the devotees who are practicing. Maybe, envy, something can be, I'm not thought thinking about it. It comes into the mind. So I'm just giving example of these three: greed, cunning, and anger. So I just gave you an example: greed in eating more prasadam, clever in utilizing the cunningness and cleverness in utilizing my material property and wealth for the spiritual progress and serving it to Lord Krishna. Anger against the people who do blasphemy and who promote non-dualistic philosophy. So here I'm using, Prabhu.
Actually, these greediness and all these things, they come out of. I'll unmute you. So they are all because of material conditioning, bro. In the spiritual also there is greed, there is cunningness, there is also some envy, jealousy, and all. That is spiritual. This is not because of material impressions. I am greedy because I see so many advertisements and I also want to have it. I am envious because my neighbor has, my colleague has, my some brother-in-law has, or something they have, so I envy them. This comes because of material impressions. It is not because of spiritual qualities. This is not actually like that. We cannot utilize them. Greed is spiritual greed. Envy, though, Narottam Das Thakur says we cannot utilize only. He is telling at least anger, you can be angry. Koda Bhakta Dveshi Jane, you can be angry at who are non-devotees, who are actually not non-devotees, who are hating the devotees, you can be angry at them. But it is not material impressions. That is not possible. Say suddenly, now I'm angry, and I am angry because this person cheated me. And now instead of becoming angry on that person who cheated me, now I will start becoming angry on a person who is beating a devotee in Bangladesh. Now, how can I change my anger from this person who cheated me with I invested 50 lakhs in this house, and now he cheated me and I am left with 10 lakhs loan and I don't have house also. And now instead of becoming angry on that person, I will immediately, instead of him, I will imagine a person who is beating a devotee in Bangladesh. Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. How can it be possible? I'll be angry on this person only. I'll not be angry on somebody who is beating or hating a devotee. You cannot immediately change anger from my neighbor who is putting all his waste in my compound. Instead of, how will I become? I will not become angry with my neighbor. I will become angry with somebody who is beating a devotee. No, it is not like that. We will be affected by this anger. I'll be angry with my neighbor. I'll be angry with the person who cheated me because that is my material conditioning. So you cannot utilize our material conditioning in changing the immediately. I am greedy now for getting good money, and tomorrow onwards I'll stop greedy for the money, and tomorrow onwards I'll be greedy for only prasadam. How is it possible? We are already conditioned for money only. If somebody is giving more money tomorrow, I'll say no, no, no. I am not greedy for money. No, and today onwards I am greedy only for prasadam. No, I will be money only. It is not like we cannot overnight change. This is all conditioning. It cannot be utilized money only. We'll be conditioned to become angry on our neighbor only. We'll be envious of the colleagues and all the people who are getting success. So it is not like that. What it is said is we have to slowly change our conditionings. First to get rid of conditionings. Then natural the spiritual emotions will come. That time the anger, that time the greed, they are actually spiritual. They are not material like that. We cannot utilize them. It's not correct. And there is one more question in chat box. While doing parikrama, we should not touch the backside of Lord in the temple. No, we should actually. What is that means? Like even Arjuna says in Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, that my dear Lord, when he sees the Virat Rupa, then he says, my dear Lord, I offer obeisances unto you from the back, from the front, from the all directions, from behind. Arjuna is offering obeisances to Lord from all directions. Lord, in all directions, we are offering obeisance. That means we feel him so great that he's offered obeisance from all sides. And when it comes to Adharma, Adharma stands behind the Lord. Back of the Lord means not, she's standing behind the Lord. Not the back of Lord is Adharma. No, not like that. She's standing behind the Lord. That is the point. So that she don't want to come in front of the Lord. That is how it is. And yeah, Gaurangi Gopi.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanvat Pranam.
That not.
Prabhu, regarding this, I heard that because all the such qualities are behind the Lord, when we touch and take the blessing, those qualities come to us. So
Negative
we
qualities.
can pay obeisances from all directions, of course, definitely. But when we are circumambulating the Lord in the temple, from behind, we are not supposed to touch the temple wall and keep it on our head. That's what I have heard, Prabhu, that because all those qualities, everything exists in the Lord, so all those qualities will come to us.
No, no,
That's
no,
what.
Mataji. It is not like that. Lord is pure from all, back, behind, anywhere you touch the Lord, we only get purified. It is
Prabhu,
not
Adharma
behind.
also is in the Lord only,
No,
Prabhu.
no,
All
Adharma
these
is not in the
qualities are.
Lord. See, that is not our philosophy. That is Sri Vaishnava philosophy. Ours is
Okay.
Achintya Bheda Tattva. Lords, they are energy of the Lord. They are not Lord. We should, that's why Madhvacharya is so heavy against Ramanujacharya philosophies. How can be Adharma part of Lord, he says? It cannot be. Lord is always pure. So we also say it's same. But we say it is part of Lord in terms of his energy, not the form of the Lord. This is the difference. He is not touching the Lord. It is energy of Lord. Maya cannot touch the Lord. It cannot be part of Lord.
Prabhu, the energy also belongs to the Lord only, no, Prabhu.
Energy belongs to
Krishna
Lord,
has
but it
given
is not
shelter.
touching the Lord, na?
Krishna has given shelter to all those entities.
Yes, yes, but it is not touching the body of Lord. It is energy. Like sun is there, sun is touching the this stool, urine. Well, directly sun touch or energy of the sun touches.
Energy of the Lord, the
That's the
sun.
point. So sun does not touch. Energy of the sun touch. Ashnaviram Shuddham Apapa Viddham. Ishopanishad says. Lord is Shuddham, Apapa Viddham. Ashnaviram. He's antiseptic, prophylactic. He's always pure. He's never touched by anything. Lord glances at material nature. That glance is Shambhu. The glance is time. Lord directly does not touch. This is a question what is asked at the beginning of second canto only. How can Lord have this? How can Lord touch the material nature? He says, no, Lord does not touch. He glances over material nature. So all these
Yeah,
things are
that's
glance.
true.
So how can material nature touch the Lord? No, material nature not touching. And all these things is material nature only. No, avidya and all is material nature only. How will it touch the Lord?
Okay.
So Lord's body is always Sachidananda only. It is never
So,
touched
what
by
is
anything material.
Sri Vaishnava's argument on this?
They go and touch. In all Sri Vaishnava temple, you see everybody goes behind and offer obeisances.
No, yeah, but they say, okay, it's okay because they said if you didn't do that, that's why I want to know what Sri Vaishnava's philosophy is that why we should not touch behind.
No, Sri Vaishnava temples they touch. I was touch. We now any Sri Vaishnava temple you go, Balaji temple, everybody's off. They go parikrama, they touch the back of the Lord, they offer obeisances and go ahead. It is typical in all Sri Vaishnava temples. They touch.
Acha, you mean to say that they do it, so it's
They do it. They do it. All temples they.
okay.
We
Okay.
can touch also from back everywhere. We should offer obeisances to Lord. It is correct only. Arjuna is doing it in Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. Okay.
So you
Thank
feel
you.
so great that you want to offer obeisances from all sides.
Yeah, see, I accept, Prabhu, that we have to pay obeisances to the Lord from all directions, everywhere. But touching the back of the temple, where actually the Lord's thing is there, they touch the wall and keep it on the head. So what do they mean? They mean to say that they are touching the Lord, symbolizing that they are touching the body of the Lord from
Yeah.
behind.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So that is a sign of great respect.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Bear Krishna, bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Nandatna. Prabhu, just one clarification. In the sense that Lord is pervading everywhere as a Paramatma. So how do we perceive and define back of Lord?
Is Lord only enough, bro? Is Sachidananda. Behind and front of Lord is same only. Is Angani yasya sakalendra vittimanti pashyanti pahanti kalayanti chiranjaganti. Lord can see from back also. Lord can eat from by glance also. Is all parts of his body can do everything.
Yes, so then how we are saying that back of Lord Maya is there? How when
By
Lord is
standing
everywhere?
behind the Lord, like no Vyasadeva when he sees Maya Edapashtayam. Maya, when Vyasadeva sees, he sees the Supreme Lord, and behind she's standing, not the back of Lord. She's standing behind him. She don't want to come in front of the Lord.
Right.
Back means if I say this woman is standing back of you, so it's not your back, no, it's the back side of you, like that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Okay. One more question. Yes, Prabhuji. Ramay. Yes, Prabhu. We are not able to hear you. You have any question, Prabhu? Okay. Thank you all very much. Granth Rashtra